Give me a sense of how fragile the peace is right now.
Well, Alex, it's never a good idea to trust Hamas and believe their word. And so when the president just there said that Hamas told us they had a certain number of bodies of dead Israelis, there was no way to verify that. And now we're seeing the results. So it is very tenuous. We have a real problem on our hands right now because Hamas has exerted control inside of Gaza. It is killing its other opponents or getting them to sign pledges of loyalty. It is beginning to control the aid flow and tax that as well. And we don't have a real mechanism, we meaning the United States, one of the guarantors of this agreement, we don't have a real mechanism to prevent all of that. All we have is words. And so this is a very dangerous vacuum moment where we could quickly see Hamas take total control over Gaza and then, of course, lead to more dynamics where we see the Israelis getting very nervous about phase 2 not going forward.
But look, Joel, Trump has managed to get many of the most powerful countries in the world to join him in pushing for peace in the Middle East. How much diplomatic capital does Trump have right now? And what do you think he can do with it relative to all this?
Yeah, you're right. Look, and President Trump, he did a very good job at getting the hostages out, the living hostages out. That was not an easy task, and that is one that should not be seen as a small victory. It is a major victory. But what he did was he got all these countries together, and they need to be on the hook, too. He worked with Egypt and Qatar and Turkey, key American allies who have influence over Hamas. They need to be called in quickly. They need to be sitting around the table right now with the United States and saying the same words that the president is saying to a certain extent, and we're discussing here, which is that Hamas, you have an agreement, and you need to live up to it. Those pressure points need to be utilized. There is political capital that has been earned, and it needs to be spent.
And to the point, I mean, you've used the phrase, first steps, next step. Trump has repeatedly claimed that the war's over, and it is a message that he personally delivered both to Netanyahu and Israeli lawmakers while speaking in the Knesset on Monday. But we're actually hearing something very different from Netanyahu. Take a listen.
Okay, let's get the first part done. And now let's give a chance to do the second part peacefully, which is my hope. But if not, I think I heard the president speak tonight. He said, listen, they better do it, or, how can I speak for him? He said, all hell breaks loose, okay? Well, I hope it doesn't. I hope we can do this peacefully, and we're certainly ready to do so.
So, look, the prime minister there is emphasizing we are still just in the early stages of this plan. What do you think he wants going forward, and do you think it's the same thing that Donald Trump wants?
At this moment, I do believe it's the same thing. I think what was written on paper, the 20-point plan, which had a language in it, not a mechanism, but language in it calling for Hamas to disarm and to hand over governance to technocrats to begin the rebuilding process, I believe that's where the prime minister wants it to go as well. But what is our mechanism? When the president says we will do it, what does that exactly mean? Does that mean American troops? I don't think he wants to do that. So it means some other type of forcing mechanism. This is where he can call on, again, as we discussed, the political capital earned with these other partners who have been in the game now for the last several weeks. And I do think we have to pay attention to this warning. The Israelis do not want to go back to an October 6, 2023 dynamic. They don't want to have Hamas in control of Gaza once again and getting rich once again. And so I think that is also going to be on the minds of everybody in the region, that could come about. Another return to war could come about if we don't see Hamas live up to the agreement that it said it was in favor of.
Okay.